What a start for UT Rio Grande Valley football. Back in March of 2024, I did a video talking about the program's early beginnings, and a year and a half later, they have finally kicked off for their inaugural season. Although they were playing a Division II school in Sol Ross, I was not expecting the performance we would witness. This is the update to my original Rio Grande Valley football video. But before we get into this, if you enjoy college football content like this, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. Also, let me know who you want me to talk about in future videos in the comments section below. I did a whole video on the origins of UTRGV back in March, but to get you up to date if you have not seen that video, UT Rio Grande Valley would be created when the Texas legislation combined the University of Texas Pan American and UT Brownsville with the first class enrolling in 2015. Neither school fielded a football team, and it had been 75 years since the area had a JUCO football program back in the day. After 6 years, the school announced that they would be exploring creating a football program to participate at the FCS level. They would have their students vote on whether they wanted to bring in football, and the students voted an exciting yes. The original plan was to have the school begin playing football in 2024 as a member of the WAC conference, but they would delay until 2025. In 2022, they hired their first head coach in Travis Bush, who was an all-state wide receiver and played at Texas State. He would then go into coaching, where he would coach at the high school level in Texas State, and help Larry Coker start UTSA football. He then spent time with Houston University before going to the NFL. The school quickly bought in, with students accepting a raise in their athletic fees to support the program. Athletic Director Chassie Conque told CBS Ken's 5 News, "It starts and stops with our student body, so having their support was really important. We had more students voting than in the mayoral elections in the Rio Grande Valley. In May of 2023, they had sold over 2,000 season tickets, and last year they sold out all of their season tickets. They bought HEB Park and named it Robert and Jeanette Backer Stadium, and expanded the seating capacity from 10,000 to 12,500. During the 2024 recruiting class, UT Rio Grande Valley signed 41 athletes in their first recruiting class, with 10 signings during the early signing period. All 51 players on the 2024 Rio Grande Valley roster were Texas high school football products. 50 of 51 are freshmen, and 7 are from the Rio Grande Valley. Originally, Texas Rio Grande Valley was supposed to play in the returning WAC conference. With conference realignment, the WAC and ASUN would combine to form the United Athletic Conference. Instead, UTRGV would decide to move to join the Southland Conference, paying the $2 million exit fee. The Southland Conference at the time consisted of geographic rivals like A&M Corpus Christi, Lamar, and Texas A&M Commerce. The Vaqueros would build their roster by bringing in mainly Texas high school players, but also taking advantage of the transfer portal. Through the portal, they brought in Gannon Lauer and Wes Thompson to improve their offensive line. Lauer comes after playing at New Mexico State and Garden City Community College, while Thompson played at Tennessee Tech and East Mississippi Community College. After starring at Charland Pioneer in the Valley and playing for UTSA, Eddie Lee Marburger would come to Rio Grande Valley to serve as a starting quarterback and the needed leadership as a redshirt senior. At running back, they added Nathan Denny from Yale and Dejovensky Schlaubaker from Washington State to join freshman Tony Diaz and sophomore Xavier Noland. On the defensive side of the ball, Elijah Graham transferred in after spending time at Colorado State, Iowa Central Community College, Moorhead State, and Mercyhurst, and will be joining the defensive back room by Marcus Hurd, who transferred in from Davidson, as well as homegrown talents Elijah Prosser. At linebacker, they brought in graduate student Spencer Rich, who played for Memphis and Utah Tech. During the scrimmages during the spring, the defense impressed forcing turnovers and causing a lot of issues for the offense. Heading into the season, Bush wanted to get as many players involved in the game as possible. Regardless of the score during the non-conference contests, UTRGV will be rotating through players regularly in all 3 phases. Bush wanted to be multiple on offense and defense. He spoke on implementing his system, saying, "The way our systems are built, they're built for anything. We're very multiple offensively and defensively. Mixing in and out of fronts and coverages on defense and mixing in different personnel, mixing up tempos, and trying to mix the run-pass game on offense so we can take advantage of what they're giving us. We're looking for execution and effort across the board. We want to make sure we're sound with our fundamentals, not beating ourselves before the snap or having turnovers." He also went on to say, "Right now we're just focusing one day at a time. It's a 1-week season and our goal is to be 1-0 at the end of the week. That's the best we can be." You start thinking back to day 1 when it was just a blank sheet of paper, and we envisioned our facilities going up and what kind of staff we were going to hire, what kind of roster we'd be able to build, and to now see all that come to fruition over the past 2 years has been very special. Got a lot of work to do still, and just want to win today and take it one day at a time. Heading into the season as expected, the Vaqueros would be picked to finish last in the Southland Conference behind Northwestern State. If you were curious, Incarnate Word would be chosen to be the preseason favorites. Their schedule would consist of playing Sol Russ, Langston, and Texas Wesleyan at home for their out-of-conference play, and traveling to Prairie View A&M in Week 2. They open up conference play on the road against Southeastern, or hosting Houston Christian. They then travel on the road to play Lamar before hosting Incarnate Word. Goes out their season playing on the road against Stephen F. Austin, hosting Nichols, traveling to McNeese, and hosting East Texas A&M. Sadly, we will not get a Northwestern State versus UT Rio Grande Valley matchup this season. Rio Grande Valley would start their inaugural season hosting Sol Ross in front of 12,726 fans in the stadium and 20,000 more fans outside the stadium in the tailgating areas. Although Sol Ross is a Division II school, it was still a major test for the brand new football program. The Vaqueros would force a 3-and-out in their first offensive possession. Marburger connected with Nolan for a 50-yard touchdown. After another 3-and-out, Marburger found former Nebraska tight end Ishmael Smith-Flores, and then Marburger connected with Diaz to go up 21-0. And Schlenbaker closed out the first quarter with a 1-yard touchdown run. The Vaqueros put up 200 yards and went up 28-0 in the first quarter. In the second quarter, Marburger connected with Nolan for a 76-yard passing touchdown, and Taven Cord for a 61-yard touchdown. Between those two scores, TJ Dement scored a 1-yard rushing touchdown. Rio Grande Valley went into the half up 49-0. The Vaqueros opened up the second half with a 9-play, 67-yard drive, capped off by Dement's touchdown to make the score 56-0. Freshman San Benito alum Fabian Garcia rushed for a touchdown late in the third, cap a 7-play, 80-yard drive, and make the score 63-0. They'll close out their scoring with a field goal to win 66-0. Marburger went 18 for 19 for 365 yards and 5 touchdowns. Vaqueros outgained Sol Ross 673 yards to 75 total yards. The defense forced 9 tackles for loss, 4 sacks, and recovered a fumble. Redshirt freshman linebacker Jaden Haygood led the defense with 6 tackles. The defense allowed 41 passing yards and 33 rushing yards. They play Prairie View A&M on the road next Saturday night. The team just doesn't mean a lot for the school, but also for the area. Season tickets sold out a year ago, and the single game tickets for the Sol Ross game sold out within 15 minutes the Friday before the game. ConQ told Valley Central, "It's exciting to see the immense passion for the Valley from the start of the Vaqueros football program. Division I college football in the Valley has been a long time coming. We look forward to making history together on Saturday." The school announced that even if fans did not have tickets to the game, they could still come to the HEB tailgating zone and the tailgating areas, and they showed out in droves. The football team also created an economic boom for Edinburgh. A study conducted by the University of Texas Rio Grande Valley predicts that each home game could generate around $1 million in revenue for the city. From hotels to restaurants, businesses are bracing for a new wave of visitors this weekend in every home game. Chief Operating Officer of Cube Hotel Group explained, "There's this buzz that we haven't seen since the first SpaceX launch in the Valley." While Walk-On's marketing manager Shelby Cusick explained, "I think we are going to get packed. We already have people calling on the phone and asking if we are showing the game. Over the summer, we hired 37 new employees between front of house and back of house just to get ready for this football season and the rest of the year." Rodel Garza, the executive director of the Edinburgh Economic Development Corporation, told Valley Central, "The study basically says that it's almost about $1 million in additional spending per game that we should be expecting in Edinburgh. So if you look at the 7 home games this season, that's $7 million in additional impact and how 2 national restaurants opening up in the city. The city is already seeing interest from new restaurants and hotels looking to open up in the area, driven by the expected economic upswings. The local high school coaches and players love having the team around and seeing what they have to do to play Division I football. For so long, this area begged to get a football team, and they finally have one. They are 1-0 now and should continue to build. Can't wait to see where this program is in 5 years. Like I said in my original video, I hope to get down there for a football game at some point. What do you think? How do you feel about the UTRGV football program? Let me know in the comment section below. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to check out all my other videos. YouTube thinks you will love right here. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, remember to embrace the grind.